Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Mindful Homestead as I almost tripped down the stairs. It is feed day for the pigs. I gotta go pick up a ton of feed down in Massachusetts. Gotta get there early. I got my coffee in hand. We're gonna feed the pigs on the way out of here with a couple bags I had to pick up from the store because I ran out yesterday. And I'll take you along for the ride. That's a little different than what you've been getting for the last month, huh? They've been getting just the straight fermented mash for the last month. So even though that's way better and like kind of way more smelly and good tasting than the pellets. Pellets are different, so they were kind of excited over that.
It's in there. Like, I imagine you're a stickler for little game rules. Would that be true? Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, we're all loaded up. Let's get out of here.
And I really feel like at the back of everything we've been affected in. You know, like it's uncomfortable to turn the camera on whenever you're not feeling super confident.
Spent some time chatting with the farmer that I get my pig feed from, and he grows all of his own grain. I've mentioned that before. He was showing me pictures of some of his cornfields. He's got a 54-acre cornfield that recently flooded with all the rain that we've had up here, and it's not looking like he's gonna get a good harvest out of that field, if any. And he was saying it looks like, 30 to 50% of his corn harvest for the year is essentially done. All right, we are back here at the farm. I'm gonna grab the tractor. Whoa, what is going on? Are you gonna catch up? It's a little bright. Whatever. I think it's tracking my face. I'm gonna get the tractor, and we're gonna get in here. We're gonna get the pallet of grain unloaded, and then I'm gonna get my truck out of the way because Jackie's got to take Emma to swim lessons at 1 o'clock this afternoon. I'll get the grain out now though, and then I'm probably gonna head inside and I'm gonna edit for a little bit. It's easier to edit sometimes during the day when Jackie's working and my mother-in-law is watching Emma and Madison. Or Emma's been at camp a lot, summer camp this summer too. But it's been easier to kind of edit then, and that way I can spend the evenings with the family. Let's narrow the forks up a little. So I want to get it as far onto the forks as I possibly can. Which I think is about right there. That's a ton. getting it out of there. £1,946 of pig feed out of the back of the truck, no problem. Now I might advise, if you were going to be doing this more often, or if you were going to be moving it a further distance than just dumping my truck right there and bringing it into the garage door here, you'd probably want at the very least a very heavy counterbalance in the back, or a counterweight on the back of your tractor. I've got a 72-inch York rake back there, which is decent weight, but not a ton. I do have the rear tires loaded on this as well, which helps a bunch. But if you were going to be going over uneven terrain, if you were going to be going a longer distance, if you're going to be going up or down anything, definitely want a heavier weight in the back. Probably, I mean, if you were going to be doing that sort of thing, you might want a skid steer with a set of pallet forks on it. It's a little bit better suited for that job. But we only have the resources for one piece of equipment on our farm, and that is the 494. It's hot out here, so I'm going to head inside and do some editing on a video that you probably will have already seen. We'll touch base when I come out a little bit later to start unloading this, and we're going to talk about something that happened to us recently that kind of bummed me out a little bit about the farming community. I apologize for anybody who was very excited to see me scoop 2,000 pounds of pig feed into barrels. I did not actually film that. I did it off camera. However, I did want to show you, because this is kind of a video where we talk about it, how we're storing our pig feed. You can see we've got these barrels, one here, 3 back there, one right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in total. There's 2 over there that are stuck together. So while we should have had 7, we only have 6. Anyway, this is how we're storing our pig feed. I got these off of Craigslist. I found them for 20 bucks a piece. They are food grade barrels. They had apple juice concentrate and sour cherry juice concentrate in them. So they're lined. They're not raw steel on the inside. And best of all, they come with these locking lids and bands on top. There's nothing I had to cut. There's no loose fitting plastic lids. Being that they're all metal, the barrel is metal, the lid is metal, the band is metal. Rodents cannot get in here, bugs and whatnot cannot get in here. They're pretty much airtight, which could be a concern if you're having lots of temperature swings, but we've been going through feed fast enough and I haven't really noticed that it's an issue. But it's really easy. Take your band off, pop your lid, and then you've got your pig feed inside that you can use a scoop to scoop into 5-gallon buckets. Simple as that. When you're done, put your lid back on, put your band back on, seal it right back up. It doesn't get easier than that. When we first got this pig feed, I had posted on our Instagram and Facebook page that we had found a local source for our grain for our pigs, and I was really excited about it. And someone who lives locally commented on that post asking where I was getting the grain. A couple people did, actually. And I made the statement that I wasn't able to share where I was getting this grain because the person who had kind of looped me in and brought me into this fold, as it were. I mean, first off, the farmer does not have unlimited capacity. It's not the Midwest. We're not talking 1,000-acre fields of corn and soy and wheat here, we're talking, you know, smaller fields in cleared locations that they can plant, you know, with maybe 4 or 5 fields of corn, 4 or 5 fields of soybeans. That's just the nature of farming in New England. And as it stands, when I was brought into this group, if you will, where the farmer I spoke to vouched for me and got me the contact info for the guy I was going to get my grain from, the statement was made that his supply is limited and don't necessarily broadcast this guy's information everywhere.
Look at me. Never rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
So when I posted that we were proud to have a locally sourced grain option for our pigs, I had a feeling people were going to ask me where I was getting that from, because it is something that a lot of people would like to have. But I also knew going into that post that I wasn't going to be able to share that info, and I hoped people would understand. One particular person did not understand and seemed to come at me and attack the channel for not wanting to share that information with them. I believe the statement was made, I'll put it up on the screen here, but I think the statement was made that I seem to not share a lot of info, and that's kind of strange or weird or something like that. We'll leave that right where it is and talk about the second thing that kind of made me think about this. I was making our rosemary and clay soap the other day, and somebody commented on the picture of the rosemary just before I ground it that I'd posted to Instagram that they would like the recipe. Our soap recipes are not just from a book or a website. These are something that, yes, we did a lot of research using the internet and books to start our explorations in soap, if you will. But at the end of it, they're recipes that we tweaked and tested and came up with. I've got a whole bunch of soap in the basement that is just not something I would ever sell. It's just soap that Jackie and I are kind of slowly going through ourselves, but we wouldn't sell it because it's not what we want to put out there. Jackie was in the next room when I got this message, and I asked her, I'm like, I don't necessarily want to share this recipe with her because of the work that we've put into developing our own recipes. Am I a jerk for not wanting to do that? And Jackie kind of reaffirmed that, you know, you're not being a jerk. You worked very hard on this. It's something that we sell. It is part of the income that we have on the farm. I don't work full-time anymore. I work part-time at a farm store. It provides benefits for the family. Jackie does work full-time, but my full-time job, or at least the biggest portion of the income that I bring to the household, is our farm and what it produces. Ultimately, what I did was I shared with this person via private message that I prefer not to share the recipes that we've come up with. However, if she wanted to look at the ingredients in our soap on our website, those are all posted because that is part of the regulations of selling soap. And she was welcome to kind of figure out the ratios and things on her own. And she was very nice about that. She said it was totally understandable, and that was fine. But back to the original incident, the original poster did not think it was fine. And when I mentioned, you know, that I didn't want to share the source of the grain because of the limitations of the farmer, he came back at me with the attitude that because he was a local farmer, I would extend the common courtesy of telling him where I was getting my grain from. When I picked up this last 2,000-pound tote of feed from the farmer down in Massachusetts that we're working with, I asked him what his capacity was. What can you sell? How much feed do you have? Are you, in not so many words, are you swimming in feed, or are you pretty bare bones? You sell what you have the capacity to make. And he responded simply by showing me pictures of his cornfields from these recent rainfalls that we've had in New Hampshire and New England, of cornfields of his that were half underwater, and him not knowing if that corn was going to bounce back or if it was going to die off, and what that was going to make his capacity look like next year. I have put myself out there, and I've put myself on the record saying that I believe small farming and more people doing what Jackie and I are doing here is a good thing. And I want to see that happen, and I would love to facilitate more of that in any way possible. The truth of the matter is, though, we are all very limited in certain things. We don't sell produce from our garden because what we produce in our garden is about what we eat. You know, if there's a little bit of surplus here and there, we may share it with friends and family, but I'm not taking everything I grow in the garden and putting it out on the curb for sale, because then that would leave me with nothing. The same thing goes for the soap we make and sell on our website and at various other events throughout the year. The same thing goes for the feed that we're feeding our pigs that we both eat ourselves and sell to make money for the farm. This is something that I've been searching for, having a locally grown and milled feed for our animals since we started this. I guess that maybe what I'm trying to get at in not so many words is that there is an aspect of work that goes on behind the scenes to a lot of what we do. Whether it's, you know, this YouTube channel, the nights that I stay up late editing videos like this, the tractor that, frankly, we've been busting our butts off both farm-wise and off-farm income-wise to afford. You know, this thing is worth more. Jackie and I were talking the other day. This tractor is worth more than either of our vehicles were when we purchased them. We bought both of our cars used. And it's probably worth more than both of our vehicles combined right now in the state that they're in. That's a lot of pork that we need to sell to afford this thing. And having a locally milled grain as one of the selling features of my pork is a bonus for me. It's a good thing. It's something I want. If sharing that source of grain, which is finite, it's limited, it's not guaranteed, especially in the future with things going the way they are, if sharing that source of grain makes it so potentially I can't afford this thing or other things, then kind of what's the point of the farm enterprise? We're getting into the nitty gritty of like farming versus homesteading and what's different, but we are very much farming as well as homesteading, and farming is a business. And you know, it's not anything personal. I need to act as it's a business. I hope that viewers who can't at least agree with me on that topic maybe understand it a little bit better after hearing me talk it out. That is going to do it for today's video. That's where I'm going to wrap this up. If you're a fan of what we're doing here on the homestead, I would invite you to head down below and click that subscribe button. If you are already subscribed to the channel, then I'm going to thank you as always for watching, and I hope you're having a great day. Bye.